No! 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 Oh, things, and stuff, and things. This day has been one massive shit fest. That guy who looks like something from Bly Manor is Tommy B somehow. I don't know how that makes sense. I'm pointing the other way. I'm not even high yet. Jeez. And also joining us, he's just off of camera. Oh,
You have to add yourself in the show for it.
How about now? Do we got audio now?
Testing.
Sounds like it.
What the fuck? How the fuck did you?
Well,
Why didn't we get her out here like half an hour ago?
she was doing this thing called parenting. It's important.
We could have traded places.
All right.
You could have been doing that thing called parenting.
Sorry for the echoing. We're going to kill that in a second. Sorry for the echo. All right. So today has not been a very good day. And we're going to, I will in a second. I'm going to redo the intro. Well, hang on. We can't not show. We've had the fire higher than that. And then there was light and a Jade and a Tommy and Johnny somewhere. Well, that's what that's what happens when you got flames in front of you. So it took a woman to start the fire. The three men couldn't do it. I'm not ashamed. I think it's sex. What do you mean you didn't even touch it? Wait, really? Never mind then. It was the men that. I hate not being able to hear myself. Okay, here we go. Let's try this again, and then we'll let you guys know why today's been a shit fucking day. And we'll talk Halloween. Fandom Empire. We're live. What's going on, everybody? Let's move that this way. Oh, you know what? All right, fuck. Jeez. We're live. You're going to get my hand for most of this, and Tommy, who looks like something out of Bly Manor. What's going on, everybody? It's Wednesday, October the 13th. Halloween Kills is one day away from the public. It's finally here. Fresh from the States, it's Tommy B. What's going on, man? How was the drive?
Oh, it was fantastic. You know, it was pretty chill most of the way. I I traversed the interstates. I ran up and down all them motherfucking back roads of Pennsylvania. I crossed into New York. Didn't even realize it. Oh, yeah, that's not a good idea. We are in public.
You don't sound like somebody who has driven all day.
Well, it's been a good day, you know. It's been a good day. It's been an enjoyable drive. I didn't have any problems until I got over the Canadian border.
Oh,
and they tried
here we
to
go.
kill me
Blame
on
Canada.
the 401. But that's okay because I grew up in South Jersey. I'm used to that. So,
Yeah, the 401's a mess. It sucks. It's terrible. It's terrible. Also joining us tonight, he's dousing himself in pizza once again. It's JV. What's going on, man?
JV.
I can get used to it.
what's up, JV? What's up?
JV is gravy, baby.
Oh, shit. Oh, sorry.
I swear nobody's intoxicated. Nobody's high yet.
It's gonna be one of those kind of nights, isn't it?
I don't like having to use my phone to look at the chat. Now I know how you guys feel. It sucks. Melissa Todd wants to know where's your wife, Tommy?
Unfortunately, she couldn't make it. You know, she couldn't get off from work. Her job's hard to replace, so she had to miss some days a few weeks ago, a month ago or so. So we just couldn't swing it. Hopefully next time.
Who said there's going to be a next time?
Oh, wow! I'm feeling so embraced and welcomed. The land of the maple leaf. You know, I said it once, I'll say it again. Whoever came up with the stereotype that all Canadians are wonderful, nice,
Lived in America.
Ned Flanders type of nice people, they were absolutely wrong.
They just lived in America.
Because I think y'all are just as bad, if not worse.
Ouch. I don't know about that one. I mean, you were just here saying things we're not going to talk about on air, but yeah. Look at that fire. Just started magically on its own. It's a little creepy.
It knew when showtime was.
It's a little creepy. Okay, so let's start off with the shitty stuff, and then we'll move on to a positive frame of mind and enjoy the night. By the way, I'm well aware that a bunch of you out there have already seen Halloween Kills. Most of us will see it tomorrow. Some of us had a chance to see it tonight or yesterday. All options. But let's start off with the shit stuff and get it out of the way. So first up, strike one was Maddie couldn't make it, which was unfortunate. We'll call it personal reasons, and we're definitely missing him right now. So that was a bummer that we couldn't get Matt up here. But Matt's going to go see Kills tomorrow night with Mike Bish, and that's good stuff. Look at Tommy doing sharing, even though he's here. I gotta share, man. There's like 60 people in the chat. Fuck sharing.
Maybe we want more.
If people want to be here, they'll be here.
More have to come and see our grainy video in front of the campfire.
Yeah, apologies for the 720 laptop video. Usually our video is in 1080p. Even though I have a 4K camera, StreamYards wants a ton to be able to stream in 4K. They can suck my you-know-what. Strike two was we found out that we're not going to be able to see the movie with someone. I can't say who it is at their request, but we were supposed to see the movie with someone from the channel, and they're not going to be able to make it tomorrow night either due to complications, and that's unfortunate. And out of respect for their privacy, they shall remain unnamed. And then the final strike was today, and I don't really want to get into the technicalities of it all because it's not my place to do so. But you'll notice there's a member missing from our fabulous foursome. And in a nutshell, our boy Kieran was unable to attend tonight, and unfortunately he will be unable to attend Halloween Kills tomorrow night as well, which is not the news we wanted, but it's the world we live in. And hopefully some of us will have an opportunity to see Halloween Kills with him on Saturday. the fire's going at least. So there's some positive.
Tommy made it safely. Another positive.
So tonight we're just going to talk about the Halloween franchise, some of our experiences with it, movies we like, moments in the movies we like. We'll talk a little bit about Halloween Kills. The chat can chime in however they wish. We will try to pay as much attention to it as we can. Because we're late getting going here, we're going to cap it at a probably 90 minutes. And yeah, so if you want to support the channel, you can do so. Sign up at patreon.com. It's patreon.com/Fandom Empire. And if you want to send in a super chat tonight, you can do that as well. And we'll read your question and or comment on air. We had some fun last night with the super chats. People were, what was it they were doing again?
We were doing Dr. Seuss quotes.
Dr. Seuss quotes relating to Halloween. Yes, that was a lot of fun. And the chat had a great time with that. And yeah. So without further ado, here we are. It's Fandom Empire. It's not live or now.
I mean, it is live.
I mean, I suppose it is a Bonfire watch along now. It's way back in the distance because we didn't think the fire was going to go. So stuff and things. All right. Halloween Kills is tomorrow night. We'll get into what some of the critics are saying about the movie and where scores are in that. But Johnny, as somebody who had really no excitement level for Halloween 2018 and ended up enjoying the film, we're less than 24 hours away now from seeing it. Where's your excitement level at, man?
I mean, it's up there. I mean, it's probably the most excited I've been for a Halloween release since the first Rob Zombie one. You know, because I enjoy Rob Zombie films. You know, I'm a fan of House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects and you know that stuff. So I had high hopes for that until I actually saw Rob Zombie's Halloween. So, I mean, you know, they won me over. The production team won me over with the 2018 version. You know, like we said, I had no trust going into that they would do anything successfully because to me they were comedians. You know, and it's a very different thing to go from comedy to thriller horror, and they did it extremely well. I'm excited to see where the story continues going, especially considering I have, you know, zero foreknowledge of anything. I mean, you know, even as far as the trailers, I am almost completely virginal going into this tomorrow, so I'm excited for that.
That's a lot to take on there. That's very personal. Daniel asks, is this your first time meeting Tommy in person? Okay. Yeah, I'll tell a little story about that. So, I met Tommy after I got off of work today. Tommy was already in town for a couple hours. And I think sometimes when you meet people in person that you've talked to online for a while, it can be jarring. But because Tommy and I have been talking, and then even Tommy and Johnny have been talking since mid-2015, you know, you're talking 6+ years of familiarity there. And it was a little, I think the only time I felt like, oh, wow, this is actually happening in person is I was waiting in front of the mall and he walked over to me. And then we just got into a conversation and that was it. You know, I think it'd be different if we'd only been doing this for a year or two, but like we're almost at 7 years now. It just sort of comes natural.
I think the fact that, you know, we've been in the video format for as long as we have also makes a huge difference. I mean, you know, it was many moons ago for the first time we met a couple of guys we've been playing on Xbox with for, you know, probably 4 or 5 years at that point. And then it was a completely different experience because it was just voices. You know, like when you can put a face to a voice, it's a huge difference. You already have that, you know, level of familiarity, I guess. So it doesn't feel, you know, it doesn't feel like, yes, this is the first time I've been physically in the same area as Tommy, but it just doesn't feel like it because we've been on video for so long.
Yeah, no, I just think you have a chemistry with someone, and you know, Tommy is
that statement sounds like we're on a totally different show.
Oh, we're gonna get there in a second. I don't know, like Tommy's one of my closest friends. I don't
I'm
think.
touched.
Oh,
I'm touched.
is that because Johnny's beside you?
Nah. You know, it's just like what you say, right? We've been talking for so long. We've been doing the video for so long. It was kind of just like, so let's just pick up. You know, let's get walking. Let's go see some stuff and talk about what we're doing next few days. You know, it's gonna be an exciting one. It's not. There have been some fire. There's been fire. Yeah. There have been some.
Are you scared of the fire, Tommy?
Oh yeah, it's gonna set me on fire.
It's pretty tame. It's gonna die out.
Yeah,
in
there
not
have
too
been
long.
some drawbacks, some things that haven't gone quite the way we've liked them to go. But you know, it's still gonna be an enjoyable visit, and I'm happy to be here. It's my first time out of the U.S.
Well, I won't answer or I won't make that comment honestly, just in case we lose all of our viewers. Yeah, no, it's just sort of it's natural. What's not natural is doing this outside. This is not normal for us, and apologies for getting started late in the technical issues. Yes, Jensen just walked right over to Tommy. I see that Michael Stapp's in the chat. I just want to take a moment. Sorry, guys. I have the chat by me, but it's kind of hard to read from where I am, so I'm trying to read it off my phone. Michael recently lost his father, and that's never a easy thing to go through. And I just want to say, Michael, that you've been a longtime supporter of our channel, and we definitely feel for what you're going through, man. And I hope if we can even provide just a little bit of a distraction for you, that'll be worth it. But again, you're definitely in our thoughts, man. Kieran had mentioned earlier Sean's reaction. Where did it go now? Sean was like, "Oh my god, he's got fucking legs." You won't hear as much cussing. That's probably gonna be my last cussing, just because they're our neighbors and it's a weeknight.
Which of us has legs?
You?
Me?
I've seen Tommy walk before.
Me? Hello, legs.
Don't fall backwards in the fire.
Yeah,
Your wife
that
will
wouldn't
never
be
forgive
very
us.
good for my figure or health in general.
All right, let's dive into Halloween talk. Nobody came here to hear us talk about our feelings.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, I mean, maybe. I mean, that could be a new thing. Fandom feelings, new show. You know what? Let me address something when we have a second here. There's a strong chance that you're going to see a lot less Fandom Empire content after this week. We will continue to have the live show on Tuesdays. Fandom Empire now moves back to every other week. But I need a breather, and the guys do too. And we'll still be here, and we'll keep up with the Patreon. If you're supporting us over there, we got a bunch of shit happening over there, so be on the lookout for that. And sometime in November, we'll have a limited run for a Game of Thrones show. So yeah. Anyways, without further ado, it's time to talk Halloween. Johnny already got it going. Tommy, where is your excitement level?
Well,
for Halloween Kills, considering, critically speaking, and it's not just the people over in Italy, so people can throw that narrative out the window. It's not doing well.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a dumpster fire, right? It sounds like it's, right behind us in that glowing flame. But I just can't help but wonder, are all of these reviewers, maybe not all, but are many of them looking at the movie as like, as we've said before, a regular movie? And it's difficult to frame a Halloween movie or, a similar movie from any horror franchise or horror genre in general. You can't put that next to Venom, Let There Be Carnage, or No Time to Die, or Dune, or any other of the big movies that have come out this year, right? It's not a fair comparison. And I don't want to say that horror movies deserve a handicap. I'm saying that horror, because of the ratings they receive and because of the crowd that they appeal to, it's more of a niche thing, right? No matter what you do, it's not going to have the same appeal. It's just not, it's not right.
I don't put too much stock into what other people think of movies. It's cool to see. Like you want to, you get excited to see what other people say, but that doesn't mean that needs to form your own opinion on a movie. And Halloween Kills for me is probably going to be exactly what I've read and heard it will be, and that's cool. Will it be the best movie ever? No. But if you like Michael Myers and want to see him busy, you're probably going to like this movie. Is what I would say. Johnny, you got any expectations heading into tomorrow?
Not really. I mean, I managed to come into these pretty open, clean slate. So I don't really have any expectations. I mean, I just want to see. I want to have fun. That's my only expectation, is to enjoy it. Like we talk about the critics, and I don't give a crap, because if I gave a crap about what critics thought, I wouldn't have my own opinion, and I'm not a sheep. I mean, it's as simple as that. Like I don't put stock into what the opinions are of the other panels, because they're opinions. Your opinion is different from mine, which is different from Tommy's, which is different from Kieran's, which is different from Matt's, which is different from Mike's. Everybody's opinion is different, and that's the beauty of opinions.
Yeah, right, Tommy.
Yeah.
You look concerned.
It just started to sound weird.
What is that sizzle? Like, for real?
I have headset on, so I can't hear it as clearly as you guys.
Yeah, it's like it just
It's a little
changed to like a
concerning.
really sharp sizzle. I'm like, oh, is it going to go boom boom? Are we going to be running, picking up the laptop and going?
Boom, boom, boom. Anyway,
This is not karaoke night.
I had a vape, but I got absolutely no fucking idea what happened to it. I blame Jade. Oh, here we go. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not doing well critically at all. It's actually doing worse here than it did in Italy. So that's a bit unfortunate. And box office wise, it's projecting at about $40 million right now, North American, which for all the people that thought Venom couldn't compete with Halloween Kills, you might want to go check and see how that movie did opening weekend. Probably twice of what Halloween Kills will do. Am I missing something in the chat, Sam?
Yeah, Jade says the sizzle is because it rained today. It's getting a wet log. And Kieran says, surprise, Tommy, Sean put fireworks in the pit.
Man. No, I'm excited. Whatever it ends up being, it ends up being. But I think it's going to be an enjoyable slasher. And I think, unlike the last movie, this one really is a slasher movie. There's some story there for sure, but you're there to see a lot of kills. The movie's called Halloween Kills.
Wait, there are going to be kills in a movie called Halloween Kills?
I want to bring up something that Tommy and I read today. So there's some stuff happening with Halloween Ends right now that we're going to talk about on our Patreon. That is a little bit controversial, and everybody knows with the Halloween movies, because of the way the rights are and everything, there's a lot of chefs in the kitchen. And I can say for certain there is one group of chefs that are they're very adamant about wanting to take Ends in a certain direction and do something. And there's another group of chefs that are saying there is no chance in hell that's happening. And while the movie is set to start filming in January, it gets complicated because it's not just one company that has creative say in what's going on right now. And we'll dive into what that really is about on our next Patreon stream, which will be next week, on Inside Fandom. Let's dive into Halloween, guys. Let's dive into Dr. Loomis. Samuel Loomis.
So what you're saying is that was the sizzle, not the steak?
That's the wrong Sam Loomis.
Oh.
Side note, I had the pleasure of seeing the famous sign in the bathroom shortly ago.
It's true.
Yeah, well, sadly, that sign's taken a beating and it needs a new one. But I wasn't kidding. I legitimately have in my bathroom two pictures of Malcolm McDowell as Dr. Loomis that sit right beside you as you're taking a dump on the toilet. And the one says, I sell the sizzle, not the steak. And the other one says, I said 2%. I have a sixth sense of humor, and I'm totally all right with that. Let me ask the chat before we move on to the Loomis stuff. Are each and every one, how's everybody feeling about Halloween Kills tomorrow? Obviously, every one of you should be excited about going to experience the movie, regardless of who you're seeing it with, whether it's tomorrow or Friday or Saturday or whenever. Regardless of who you're seeing it with, you should be excited just to experience the movie, because this is something that people have been waiting for 3 years, and it was delayed an entire year. So whether you like the movie or not, enjoy the experience. But what is everybody's expectations and hopes for Halloween Kills tomorrow night or whenever you see it? Comment in the chat now. Let's go to Loomis. Dr. Loomis stuff. Johnny, we'll just go in a circle. We'll share one apiece. What's one of your favorite Loomis moments?
Oh, I mean, there's so many.
To be clear, Donald Pleasance.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. I made my Malcolm McDowell joke already. I mean, there's so many choices. You know, Donald Pleasance just provides so much gravitas. But the scene that, you know, the favorite moment for me, I guess, is the eyes. You know, when he talks about Michael's eyes for that first time, it just, the words, they're iconic. I mean, and the fact that it's been turned into a meme in the last few years in such a way has just been, you know, an additional life to what has otherwise been just a really great moment in the Halloween franchise.
Tommy, how about you, man? Dr. Loomis moments. What's one that stands out for you?
Wow, there are just so many. I'll tell you what. Garbage movie, but if I remember correctly, H5, you know, he's obviously losing, you know, some of his faculties by this point. Well, he's been losing them since H1, I'm sure. And he's shaking Jamie in her care facility. I forget, was that like, you know, a hospital or just like a home for children or whatever it was? Yeah, he just shakes her, and you know, freaking out on her. Finally, the nurse or the helper of some kind comes in and, you know, clearly expresses her concern that this Loomis needs to get out of the rooms, basically. Yeah, that's one thing that, you know, for better or worse, the movies, Loomis really becomes, I guess you could say, more colorful, if you will. You know, he begins to slip as far as his faculties are concerned, and Donald Pleasance did a wonderful job showing it. I only wish that we could see more beyond the last film that he was in.
I think two that stand out for me are, one of them would be the 6 bodies, Sheriff. And then the other one would be, well, that's obviously the conversation he has with Meeker. But the other one is definitely when, like, he literally uses Jamie as bait to Michael in H5. I don't like H5. I think it's a dumpster fire. But that moment where he's using Jamie as bait and he's like, come and get her, Michael. And the girl's obviously like deathly afraid for her life. Is like, it's Looney Loomis at that point. He doesn't care who needs to be sacrificed. He just wants Michael gone. So that was a Loomis moment that stood out for me. We'll go over some more Loomis moments in a second. I just want to see what the chat is saying. Sean's beating it in the washroom. Never. Mike Bish says, I want to walk out of the movies and say, that was so badass. What, the movie or Matt sleeping? I think both are a real possibility. I hope the audience is great. Cheering, screaming, clapping, says Lorraine. Jay says, I want to clap and scream loud the second they show Loomis. I know I'm going to. I wish that we were going to have that sort of atmosphere in our theater. I know we're not. And that's just because when we bought our tickets, that was before they lifted restrictions. So we're in quite a small screening.
I like the intimacy of it.
I do, but like you don't beat opening night for a big movie. It's great. Underrated Loomis moment, H5, when he beats Michael with a board yelling die and then basically dies on top of him. Obviously he ends up living, says Kieran. I shot him 6 times, says Mafia, for Loomis. Earlier we had Solid Saturn say they should not have COVID in Halloween movies. Well, David Gordon Green came out either yesterday or today and said that this will take place in current time. So if the movie comes out in 2022, which is still an if, that it'll be 2022. If it's 2023, then it'll be 2023. They're currently unsure. But what they did say is COVID will be, a thing, kind of like it. I don't watch this show, but I know like Grey's Anatomy incorporated that into it. I know there's other shows.
The difference is that you have to, like, you can't have a medical show and not deal with a global medical pandemic. I don't want that in a Halloween.
But the
movie.
thing with Grey's Anatomy, and I know this because my wife watches Grey's.
Well, I watch it too.
Is then from the new season they've moved on.
Yes,
they're now in a post-COVID world, and actually, as they're beginning, they say this is portraying a post-COVID world. However, it is still real. Blah blah blah. Be safe.
They spent an entire season dealing with the actual ramifications of it. It's okay to move.
They're done.
Past.
They had their pandemic story, and now they're done with it.
I mean, New Amsterdam and another medical show did the same thing.
Yeah,
they blew past it in like the first 5 minutes of the premiere last year. So
with all that in mind, I will say I am not crazy about this pandemic that we are in this real world being featured in Halloween, because Halloween doesn't even take place in a real town.
Yeah, Haddonfield's real. It's just not in Illinois.
It's in New Jersey, but it's not the same. It's not the same town.
I think that I think it's bullshit, if I'm being honest.
Movies supposed to be an escape.
This has reality, Jamie Lee Curtis written all over it.
Well, I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot pole.
Well, she can't help herself. She's always fucking doing this shit. And by the way, none of us here are anti-COVID or anything like. Well, I mean,
we know it's real. We know it exists.
Yeah. And you guys are all entitled to your own opinion. That's cool. It's not what we're here. But no, I don't think there's a place for it in this Halloween movie. And the idea that they're going to go very political with ends is
ridiculous.
Oh, I've said over on our Patreon, I want to be careful because I think the people that pay for our Patreon should have that information for themselves. I don't want to give too much away, but like I said at length over on Patreon before that, like, ends, again, they haven't started filming, but everything I've heard on ends, it's very messy. You all right? What was that?
Sort of thump.
Oh, did you? Ba-bum. Oh no.
No, I thought maybe the board had fallen over and that's what it was.
Nope, the board is well in place and really not even visible anymore.
The extent of politics I want in a Halloween movie is the Cult of Thorn. That's the extent of politics I want, and that's because it's a cult. That actually makes sense. But like, I don't, like, this is a horror movie. It's not, this isn't an Aaron Sorkin drama where politics makes perfect sense. This is a slasher movie. I'm here to see you stab somebody. I'm here to see you gut somebody. I'm here to see blood. I'm not here to talk about world peace.
Blood, blah, 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 blah.
I don't know. It's concerning for sure. They're really going down a dangerous path here, and we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. But I did find that interesting. I did see it. It was one of the first things Tommy asked me when he got here if I had noticed a certain article, and I'm like, I skimmed through it, sadly. But yeah, what? You're muted.
I'm aware.
Oh, okay.
Kieran's comment. Imagine the shape saves the world from the pandemic.
Good guy, Michael.
Good guy Michael, whose blood holds the antidote to reverse it and cure it. All that. That's what it is.
James, Wayne Godke's comment hasn't come through on my phone, but I see he's made one on there.
I mean, Brad makes a good point in the chat that maybe the pandemic can just be a side fact, a side story of ends. And you're right; it does make sense to acknowledge it in a passing sense, but not.
It's not the way the article made it feel.
No, I mean, there's nothing wrong with acknowledging its existence in the world because it does exist. But I mean, let's be honest. Do we want to see a Marvel movie where everybody's running around New York City in pandemic protocols? Like, no, nobody wants to see that.
So, like, here's the thing. I wouldn't mind seeing, a Michael Myers movie taking place simultaneously with some kind of, pandemic of some sorts. I don't want it to be the same thing that we're all still living with. Give me something different, There are any number of turns they could take with something like that. As for Marvel, I mean, like, again, they could do the same thing, but just don't give me the same thing we're living with. I mean, be creative.
I mean, I'd also point out that the Marvel universe is already post-pandemic. It's in 2025, 2026?
Something crazy like that because of
the pandemic happened during the Thanos snap. That's fine.
Yeah,
that is exceptionally horrible to think about, dealing with that during the snap. Like, you already cut the population in half. Oh God,
there was no snap.
I mean, those who watched What If know that there were some pretty interesting events that went on in some of those timelines. One of which basically stopped the snap.
All right, that's funny as shit. I'm going to highlight that. I know it's a touchy subject, but I hate laptop mouses. Loomis trying to beat COVID. I got 6 shots. Kieran is definitely the life of the party. All right, let's go back to some more Loomis moments. Another Loomis moment that stands out for me is the end of H4. This moment, right here. He is literally gonna blow Danielle Harris's head off. She's like, what, 9 or 10 in that movie?
Something like that.
9, I think. He's gonna blow the little girl's head off. Definitely a classic Loomis moment. What else you got Loomis-wise, Johnny?
I mean, we kind of hit on most of the big ones for me personally. With the 6 shots and the obvious button moments and all the ones we've talked about. I mean, it's just the entire run. Like, there's nothing bad about Loomis, really. Like, he is sort of the beacon for a lot of those films.
It's weird to say, but like Loomis's worst Halloween Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis, his worst Halloween movie outside of H6 because he just couldn't do much, is probably the first one. Like, I get it. People love the original Halloween. They got to put it up on a pedestal. There's a guy that literally lives up the street who was watching Halloween as I parked the car. And he has like Michael Myers stuff all over his windows. And so like that first movie's super popular. But like for me, H2, H4, H5, Loomis is way more memorable in those 3 movies than he is in H1 and H6. Thoughts on that take, Tommy?
I think your take is a bunch of baloney. No.
Can I just say I was like terribly disappointed that when you got out of your car today, you weren't wearing a yellow hoodie. I thought for sure the yellow hoodie was coming, and he gets out of his car and
he's saving it for tomorrow.
There's no yellow hoodie. It's like, wow.
He's saving the yellow hoodie for
It's
tomorrow.
in my suitcase.
It's in his suitcase.
Nah, for real though. I agree with you. H1 was, it was giving some exposition for Loomis's character, right? Giving some background. This is his relationship with Michael Myers. These are some of the events that are going to set up, Donald Pleasance and Michael Myers roles throughout the next several films. And consequently, he doesn't have all those flashy moments that we've come to know and love. As far as other moments that I just happen to love, I'm not going to point one out specifically, but like Loomis's interactions with his superiors, they're always basically of the direction like, you stupid people. I told you, and now look where we are. We're doing this again. Here we are again. He's going to kill people, but did you listen to me? No, I'm right every time.
Jay Ryan just said in the chat, when they inevitably reboot Halloween in 2028 for the 50-year anniversary, he would like to see a story about Michael and Loomis, not Laurie, in there. And not that I want to see another sequel to the original Halloween movie, but if they were to do that and cast Loomis properly, I think it'd be cool to be like, okay, so Michael just took off that night and didn't get captured, and you got Loomis going all over, trying to find him and figure out where he goes next.
I mean, with rebooting, I don't want to say rebooting, but restructuring the canon the way we did with 18, there's literally such a large gap in between the two that, you can plug in a Loomis Michael story in there and not ruin the continuity. But I don't know. I can't. Donald Pleasance is so Dr. Loomis that I just don't know that they could recast it effectively.
Yeah,
there's nobody I can think of that I can point to and be like, no, that might work.
Yeah, it's like he's sacred basically to this franchise. Johnny, what you just said, the way they went with, I've seen it called on like a wiki, the final timeline. I don't know why they use that term, because we all know if this franchise keeps making money, they're going to keep making content.
Dude, they're already, again, we talked about this one over on Patreon. I won't give details here, but there's already talks about a TV series.
Yeah.
And I'm not even talking the season of the witch stuff either. So,
if I remember correctly, we all know the H1 scene, Michael, he's gone. I think they just basically write it off like, oh yeah, and they caught him. And he went to Smith's Grove and he stayed there for the next 40 years. And yeah, we all know how that goes. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know if they say they caught him like that night or immediately thereafter. So yeah, you could definitely fit a Loomis story in, or Michael could sneak out so I'm well, thank you.
I would
fine.
Love a drink.
Michael snuck out for 24 hours one Halloween. Loomis went, chased him down, and that's actually how Loomis dies. You never know, right?
So you're killing Loomis again.
I mean, he's already dead, so you're just giving him a little more screen time.
How dare you talk about Donald Pleasance?
I mean, if he wasn't dead, we wouldn't have ended up with that dumpster fire of Sartain now, would we? Garbage character.
Oh, Sartain. Johnny's favorite part of 2018 for sure, right? No?
It's a shame that the people can't see the look of disdain on my face as I
thought you were flirting with me.
That is not my flirting face.
Couldn't tell the difference. Flirting, farting, both the same thing.
I'm doing neither of those things.
Remember when they said only Jack Nicholson can play Joker?
No.
Yeah, he's probably the third best Joker now, in my opinion. So,
like the
maybe fourth, actually.
I mean, I'd put Cesar Romero ahead of him. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I mean, I'd put Cesar Romero ahead of him. I'd put Heath Ledger ahead of him. I'd put Mark Hamill ahead of him.
I know you haven't seen Joker, but I think if you did, you'd probably put Joaquin Phoenix.
Recompense the two as the same. It's
okay to have different people play different parts in movies, and there's nothing wrong with that. Or sorry, different people play the same parts in different movies, and you have favorites and ones you cling to, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm completely open to recasting. I think Star Wars has it wrong when we can't recast this person and we can't recast that person. And And to me, that's not honoring someone. To me, that's sort of weighing down their work and not allowing their work to continue on through somebody else.
In their defense, Disney and Marvel did develop a pretty damn good way to de-age people.
It's all right. It's still not there, in my opinion.
Well, no, but I mean, for a developing technology, you know, I mean,
Indeed. All right, chat. We're gonna move to.
We did have a super chat coming.
Oh, did we? I think I put
Yes,
it
we
up there.
did.
Oh. Loomis when he got COVID. No. Was that the super chat?
Yeah,
you're talking about?
Mandalorian,
Oh, I could have swore I
yep.
put that up there. Weird. Don't diss Sartain. Wait, Kieran, are you gonna sit here and defend Sartain?
you know the beauty of Kieran not actually being here when he says something stupid like that?
Yeah.
We can just ignore it.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay to have different opinions. Some of them are just wrong.
No, we're gonna let it burn out.
So it's not going to fade away.
Fade away. We'll go to the AMA portion of the show. Whatever you guys want to talk about, send your questions in. If you do want to send in a super chat, you can support the channel on that level. I always recommend that you go sign up for Patreon. I got to get a hold of Nick. Nick signed up to, he super chatted last night a couple of times, and then he signed up to our very top premium tier. So I got to get him added to that chat. And Nick's going to get access to a bunch of cool shit and get to earn some merch and all that stuff. So appreciated, Nick. Here's your honorary shout out for this evening. But yeah, AMA time, whatever you guys want to talk about. It can be anything Halloween. We should focus on Halloween, but if you want to get off of Halloween, we can get off Halloween too.
I'll tell you what I want to talk about.
Well, we didn't talk about
What
Halloween.
makes a shout out honorary?
A shout out
Why isn't
honorary.
it just a shout out?
I mean, Tom's got a
Honorary
good
shout
point.
out. I think it's a shout out with honor.
Isn't that an honorable shout out?
Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, but isn't that an honorable shout out?
Oh, JSC's back. Wow, you bored, man? Wow. All right, my hey. It's a good song. Although I think you get the lyrics backwards. Isn't it? Hey, my.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I was doing Rock of Ages.
I'm talking about Kieran's.
Yeah, I
in the
know
chat.
that. But
Saturn in the chat. What's your least favorite and favorite of the Strode women? And I'll give some real feedback on this right now. If we're going exclusively off of 2018, I don't think that's fair because, that's just one film, right? I mean,
you kind of have to, because then we have to include H2O when we talk about Lori, and that just completely tanks the performance she had in 18.
It completely what?
Tanks the performance.
Meaning you like 2018 better.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, you don't?
No, I do. It's just I don't understand what relation we're
No,
going.
I'm saying if we weigh them all, that tanks. the
No,
rating
no.
in
I'm
such a way
I'm
that-
saying as far as 2018, I feel like we need to wait for that
Oh, no, I agree
question
with that, yeah.
until we at least have kills.
We don't have enough body of work for the
I-
other Strode women to rank them effectively.
I got to be honest. I'll answer that question in a second. But speaking of 2018, we did that watch along on Patreon the other night. I got to be honest. The more I watch that movie, the more that movie starts to slip for me. It just does. It doesn't feel like Halloween. I'm not talking about Halloween the movies. I'm talking about the season in that movie. Really at all. It's still one of the better Halloween movies. It probably goes back and forth between number 3 and number 4, but it just shows that recency bias is absolutely a thing. I left TIFF in 2018 going, that might be the best Halloween movie I've ever seen. And you know what? It might be the best made Halloween movie still. But in terms of my personal likeness for the movie, it's slipping a bit for 2018. In terms of the Strode women, I can't stand Laurie Strode and desperately want Michael to crush her like a bug.
You got that in Resurrection.
That was so. I'll see you in hell, Michael. Now let me kiss your fake lips on your mask and fall 3 stories to my death.
That was just
Yeah,
boy.
I knew a baby who fell 3 stories as a kid and hit their head off of a vehicle. And that person is, I know she got stabbed in the back too, and that person is alive and functioning fairly well today. And we were supposed to believe Lori's, I think it's 3 stories. It might be 4 stories fall killed her. I don't know.
Where's your imagination? I mean, she would probably just be mangled, right?
I save it for stuff like The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker pretending they're Star Wars movies.
Ooh.
Ouch.
That requires imagination.
I like that. Mike Bish is, telling us to stop hating on H2O in the chat, and Mandalorian says, yeah, H2O is necessary for your body. That's all it's good for.
Horns for you, sir. Horns for you. I'm excited. Tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to be down in studio, the 3 of us. Maybe Jason Knight. We'll see if he wants to jump into Kieran's spot. And I mean, Kieran already knows what happens in the movie, so he's definitely welcome to appear on the stream with us from his place. But we're going to be joined by Mike Bish and Matt Whitfield, and I believe Mean Dean.
You mean Matt's going to wake up in time to be on the show?
Right. And we're going to give our non-spoiler thoughts on Halloween Kills to kick off the stream. And then we're going to spoil every mother canucking thing in that friggin' movie.
So if you are waiting until it is on the Peacock.
The Peacock. That's what they should call it, the Peacock.
The latter portion of that stream is not for you.
For at least 24 hours.
Yeah.
Or 12 hours.
Well, now less than that. Like, come on, for real. It's probably going to be on there like 3 a.m., 5
Yeah,
a.m.
but let's assume even if you do get up and set your alarm for like 3 a.m. to get it as soon as it goes live, you're probably not going to want to watch us. You're going to want to go back to bed or go to work the next morning or whatever. You have to actually
look at
do
you
on Friday.
Judging people's priorities.
Shockingly,
telling
we have
them where they should prioritize
where they
Michael Myers in
if you
their
want
life.
to, if you want to wake up at 3 a.m. and watch the stream on Peacock and then turn right into our show, I don't mind.
I'm
But if
telling
wanna
you,
wait until noon
some of
hour to
these
watch our show
people
at
we
lunch
have
break,
floating
that's
around
fine
our
too.
groups and pages, I think that's exactly what they're going to be doing.
Yeah, I was going to say, we have some people overseas that watch us at insane times. And
Well, that's insane live times, though. I mean,
that's awesome. So I appreciate all those people. See what's going on in the chat. See if anybody took advantage of the AMA. JSC says he's the best Joker. I remember you were the best choker at hockey. That's a different story. If Donald Pleasance was still alive today, he probably wouldn't be in the new film since he would be pretty old.
somebody said he'd be 105
Wait.
right now.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet.
Pause.
We're pausing.
Hockey sucks.
Okay. Tommy,
I didn't burst into
don't-
flames. I didn't burst into flames.
You're in the middle of Canada, dude. Be careful. Somebody's gonna hear you
I
say
did not
that.
burst into flames. I'm still here.
We may get a kill before kills tomorrow. Like, this is opening night of the NHL. You're lucky people are actually watching hockey and not listening. Or somebody around here heard that and they're like, "Where's the American?"
Nah, I've been to my fair share of hockey games before. I'm not an avid follower.
Bullshit.
There are worse sports.
In a world where cricket exists, yes.
Wow. I'm all the way back. Did you miss my super chat? That's weird.
I still think it's hilarious that like pool billiards ends up on TV channels being listed as like a sport.
I mean,
Come on.
it's a brain sport.
Come on.
The brain power involved makes it sporting. But I mean, then we'd have to call like chess a sport, and it's a very slippery slope.
Anyways, let's play some this or that. Random game of this or that. And then we'll probably wrap up in about, how long have we been going for? An hour? Although
Something
the
like
first
that.
20 minutes was technical difficulties.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
play some this or that. All right. If you had to choose one character to die at some point during this trilogy, Laurie or Michael, who are you going with?
Laurie.
Oh, you're not going to turn this
no,
into
I'm
one
just
of
saying this is just like this. I mean, I'd say the probability is high they're both gonna die.
It's not what I asked.
I know, but I'm saying both.
That's not an appropriate answer.
I think
This
it's an
is
extremely
this or
appropriate
that.
You see which one's gonna die? Like, which one's gonna stay dead? That's a different question. I think they're both gonna die. It's just Michael's gonna.
But if
Get back
you
up.
were writing it and had to only pick one, who's living, who's dying?
Well, okay, that's a different question. Because you can kill Michael as many times as you want. He's just gonna get back up.
Someone restart the fire. I can think of a hat that needs to go in it.
Oh, so I mean, I'll take Laurie because, like I said, Michael you can't actually kill Michael. I mean, you can kill him, but he won't stay dead, so it doesn't really count.
Mine's Michael. What's the chat say? Michael or Laurie? Do you want Michael to die or Laurie to die? Comment in the chat now.
I see more Laurie's than Michael's.
Good. Steve Perry? What? That's out there.
Who are you?
We got.
Ooh.
Oh, Melissa Todd said hockey boo. Oh, wow. You know, I liked you at one point in time. Now you and Tommy, I'm not so sure about.
Are you saying that she has fallen out of favor?
She's fallen somewhere. Same with you. Come all the way up here to Canada and bash hockey. Send you home on a one-way ticket. All right, so we got the Laurie and Michael question out of the way. And it did look like the chat is far more wanting Laurie to kick it than Michael.
Melissa did apologize to you.
Thank you. But you need to apologize to Canada, not to me. All right. Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th?
Go fuck yourself. Final answer.
Mine's Friday the 13th. Nightmare's cool. Freddy's cool. Robert Englund's great, but I don't know. There's something about watching those Friday the 13th movies that are fun. Campy.
I mean, I don't know the Elm Street, franchise well enough to really be authoritative on that, but I've always been a bit bothered by like how Freddy can be comical, and it's not my favorite thing.
Man, the audience that goes and sees Halloween now and hates the fact that there is comedy in those movies. I don't know how they would handle
What comedy?
Freddy. Well, we know a lot of people don't like Julian, and those same people are gonna not like certain individuals in this movie too. But I'll let you guys experience that for yourselves.
He got what? Hung on a fence post.
Julian?
Yeah.
No.
Julian was the fat kid, right?
No. You just watched the movie.
2018.
No. Julian's the kid that's getting babysat.
Oh.
No, you're talking about weed, man.
Oh. What's the fat kid's name?
Oscar. Oscar.
Yeah, Oscar got hung.
I think
on
he
the fence
appeared in a
post.
couple episodes of Stranger Things at some point.
Oh, the actor.
Yes.
No, the character.
Well, maybe. Fandom Empire has confirmed it.
Chris says Friday the
Stranger
13th all day.
Things and the Halloween trilogy all take place in the same timeline, same universe.
Mrs. Kieran is telling us to throw Tommy into the fire pit for dissing hockey.
I don't know. I think that fire's burning.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to do anything to him now. JSC's got a question for us, but then didn't actually ask the question. That's fitting.
Unfortunate.
Friday all day, every day. Friday. Seems like the chat is way more pro Friday. Shut up, Dave. Send Dave. Yeah, I actually thought that was funny. I didn't mind Julian. At all, to be honest. I thought his role was short. The only thing I didn't like about Julian is when he runs downstairs after clearly seeing Michael and what happens to Vicky. He has no Like he just doesn't look scared of Michael. And I'm sorry, but at that age, if you see that, you're frightened.
Let me tell you something that's weird about that scene, that sequence with him. He says to, what was the babysitter's name? I forget. It's
Vicky.
okay. It's okay. I'll get help. I'll get help. And like he runs out of the house, talks to the boyfriend. Yo, we gotta get out of here. And
If you
they
go up there,
run,
you're gonna die,
and she
Dave.
dies just instant, just like 5 seconds later, and it's like, what?
I think one of the things I like about watching horror movies are some of the like really just stupid, predictable deaths. And when she slips on her socks on the hardwood floor, like it's just like, yeah, you're toast.
Almost as stupid as the person who chooses to go off on their own in the forest. Like, what?
I'm not gonna. No, we can't say that on air, man. Come up with a different question. That could offend a lot of people. Don't want to do
Question
that.
that's not stupid.
All right, this or that. I got another one for you guys. Who's your favorite Michael? You don't have to name the actor, but when you look at all the, I mean, let's be honest, we like Michael, but if you watch all the movies back to back to back to back to back, the character becomes quite different than what it starts off as. You know, it's definitely not the way it starts as. Michael in part 4 is nothing close to Michael in part 1. I know when I talked with Kieran and with Ray, and even back with my brother when it came to playing Michael, I always had like, okay, well, we're going for this kind of Michael. What's your favorite interpretation of Michael? It's not really a this or that question, but favorite interpretation of Michael. Mine's H4 because he feels like the Terminator. He feels like this isn't just a guy in a mask. This is a monster, and nobody's going to stop him. And I like that, Michael. I do. I know some people don't like the supernatural aspects to Michael, and they do just want him to be the guy in the mask. But for me, as a kid anyway, I always found that scary.
Oh, thought I got it. Following up on that, what do you think of the H5, Michael? Wouldn't you say that he's also very monstrous? You know,
No, I think he's terrible.
you got the hermit homeless guy, takes care of him for like a year, just kills him, and moves on.
What a way to reward someone. No, I actually think my H5 is terrible. I hate the way he moves in H5. I hate his look in H5. I hate when he's on his knees in the jail cell playing with his chains in H5. I thought that it really took away from what Michael was, to be honest. Johnny?
I think for me, I take the more, I guess I'd say unpopular opinion and take the zombie Michael because he was more human than any of the other Michaels before. And I prefer that human-esque-ness without all of the weird supernatural boogity boo.
I don't know what to say to that. I mean, you're not alone in that, though. A lot of people.
He is a monster in that.
A lot of people like those movies. I could have done without the entire backstory portion that zombie provides.
For sure, but I mean, like we're talking grown ass man Michael, not baby Swedish Michael.
Baby Swedish Michael. Wow. H2 Michael, Kieran mentioned that. There's something about him walking in the hospital while like just completely engulfed in flames. And he's still walking towards her. Like that's
your Terminator right there.
like obviously he ends up dying technically when that was first filmed, but he just, I don't know, like that sort of leads to H4. You know, he's all burnt up and scarred up in H4 and somehow isn't in H5. I don't know. But no, that's that image. I mean, it's literally on the Halloween 2 steel case of him walking out on fire. Thoughts on that image specifically, guys? The one that Kieran brought up. I love it.
It's great. Yeah, that whole ending sequence, with the explosions. It's great.
Bless you.
No, but I will admit it's slightly it's a little odd to when you watch it. Like, oh, I'll turn this dial. Michael's soon stab. I can't see you. Stab. Oh, I'm missing stab. And you just keep on turning the dials more and more and more. And then they get out of the room, and then it goes boom. And of course, Loomis was inside still. But
John
away.
Q actually had just asked what our thoughts are on Rob Zombie's. Michael, you got Johnny's thoughts. I hated the kid version of him. I didn't buy it at all in either movie. But the adult version played by Tyler Mane is easily the best part of those movies. It's hard to get past the fact that he's a giant, and that's not really how Michael Myers is supposed to be. But like, he's utterly brilliant in those two movies, and definitely the most rewarding part of them. So I don't have a lot of bad things to say about Tyler Mane as Michael Myers.
I'd say his size is comparable considering the kid they cast. He was a big kid. So, I mean, it makes sense that Michael's going to grow up.
I'm saying I didn't find his acting believable at all.
Well, no, but I'm talking purely from you see a kid that size and you think, damn, he's going to grow up big.
I don't think you're really supposed to look past the fact that he's huge. I mean, certain scenes stick out to me, like when he's walking through the prison with I forget the guard who took care of him. Mikey, I was good to you. He was good to him, but Michael was not good to him in return. That Michael Myers, played by Tyler Mane, was absolutely brutal. There's no way to look any different way about that. Like,
I like the part where he walks up the stairs and literally just fucking stabs Laurie's adopted father.
It's there's some really interesting, gruesome kills in it. I still haven't seen H2, right? Rob Zombie, but for H1 Rob Zombie, there's some really gruesome kills in there, and of course the story takes some liberties. But as far as Michael is concerned, I think they do a good job of what they were. I think they did a good job of painting what they were trying to do. Whether everyone likes that is a whole nother story.
Oh, I'm muted. Indeed. All right, guys, we're going to close things up here over the last 10 minutes. Tommy, you have been in Canada for all of, basically 9 hours or so.
Like 7. Well, yeah. I mean, I parked in town like 7 hours ago or whatever.
Let's have some fun with this. What are some of the most notable differences you've run into so far?
Notable differences? What can I say on air?
I think you can say it all on air, but be nice about it.
I'm not going down that road.
I know what you're talking about there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know you got some joy out of this. I think I ended up posting in the chat too for the staff chat. So I went in from the Peace Bridge, folks. That's I think it's called Fort Erie, the port of entry. Buffalo, New York. As soon as you get past the bridge toll, and Google Maps is recalculating, it switches immediately from miles to kilometers, and that is the trippiest thing in the world. Like, for real, I kid you not. I'm driving, and suddenly now I need to look at these small numbers, and I knew this was going to happen, of course. These small, little, tiny numbers on my speedometer. I'm sure it's the other way around for y'all here. And like I can't always tell how fast I'm going, and I'll be honest, I have no idea how far I actually drove. I know about how long I drove, but I have no idea how far I actually drove because I don't know the kilometers. I would have to try to convert it, right, or look it up on Google Maps or something. It's that's something that was very weird. The other thing are like some of the road signs are understandably different. Speed signs, you know, they're a little bit of a different structure. Other signs, they're just displayed differently. By the way, I converted your gas here, liters to gallons, like just as we were driving. And I think I came up with something like 570 a gallon of gas. And like, that is just an abomination. That is awful. I pay like $2.09 before I left for a gallon of gas.
209? Really?
Yes, for a gallon, not for a liter, for a gallon. You pay
It's almost what we pay for a liter at this point.
You pay like what 130, 170? I forget the number.
I just put gas in. It was 146
for a liter. You know how many liters are in a gallon, folks? It's like
3.75.
Well, okay, someone knows. Damn you and your different systems of measuring things, your kilometers and your liters.
Tommy's having too much fun with this.
Just a little bit.
And your bagged milk.
You haven't even seen the bag milk
I
yet.
tell you, I
will.
almost went in your fridge and I was getting ready to pull one out. Come show that off on the air for all my fellow Americans. My fellow Americans.
Tommy's going to be the next president. My fellow Americans.
What is this? This bag.
You're aware you're not actually holding a bag of milk, Rick. I just feel like pointing that out. Like there's nothing actually there.
Somebody go get the man a bag of milk.
Wow. I thought that one funny part was so he's going through the currency exchange and I'm sitting there watching him and just the whole process was kind of funny. And they start handing him coins. And he's like, "What's this? A silver dollar?" Oh my God, I just died.
I'm holding the money. I'm like, is this real? Is this fake?
Question is, what was it that got the reaction?
It doesn't even feel real.
Which coin was it that got this reaction? Because
toonie.
Okay, because I was gonna say, like, if it's not, how's he gonna react to a toonie? Good Lord, those are confusing even for Canadians.
It is a toonie. All right. Anything else? Anything else that stuck out to you?
Yeah, I mean, after trying to figure out some money stuff for a while, right before you ended up showing up, I went and ordered from a Tim Hortons, right? And like, I don't know how the hell to order from a Tim Hortons. I've probably never been to a Tim Hortons before in my life. So I go and I ask for a small dark roast coffee and for a small order of Timbits, which are donut holes. For those who don't have Tim Hortons, I happen to know that because of reasons. We can talk about those reasons another time. And the lady's just looking at me like with distaste of the highest magnitude. She's like, "Well, what do you want in the coffee?" And I'm like, "A little bit of cream, a little bit of sugar." What does that mean? I'm not the one drinking. And she just gave me all the sass in the world. Like, a small Timbits. What is that? Do you mean you want like I'm like, I don't fucking know how to order from Tim Hortons. I don't have Tim Hortons.
Yeah, you got shafted on.
Yo, you people be giving me all you people out there who think Canadians are the nicest people. This is like the most backwards stereotype in the world. Like, y'all are just as bad, if not worse, than Americans.
You chose to go to a mall, Tim Hortons, Tommy. A mall.
I told him to. I said, if you're going to go to Tim Hortons, you should go.
Well, elsewhere. I didn't know that the Tim Hortons was literally
I thought you were saying you told him to go to the parking lot. I'm like, what?
Literally, you just drive out of the parking lot. Okay, 5 seconds, make a right, and then make a left.
Yeah,
then you're in the Tim Hortons.
Still not at a real Tim Hortons.
That one's not good either.
That's
how many Tim Hortons are bad? How many are bad in your Tim?
Tommy, there's like 17 Tim Hortons in Oshawa.
Why?
I mean, if you're talking about the one that's like right there at the corner of the gas station, yeah, gas station ones are weird. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. But You just need to go to a real Tim
Yeah.
Hortons.
By the way, Tommy,
That's up the street.
Tim Horton was a hockey player who
Real
played
person.
for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Real person.
So that was just his ghost interacting through that person because they know you don't like hockey. That was us saying,
Does
fuck
this
you
dude
to
like
you.
actually own Tim Hortons?
He did. He started it. He founded it.
But he's a hockey player.
He's dead now, but yes.
Oh well, okay then. Oh.
It's owned by the Burger King Corporation.
Yes, they sold.
Seriously?
They sold out. Sell out. Sell out.
I'm sorry, but if you throw billions of dollars at me to sell my corporation, I'm doing it too.
All right, let's end with this. It's time to wind down, guys. Other than Michael and Laurie, you can't choose Michael, you can't choose Laurie. What character are you most excited to see on screen tomorrow night? Let's start with you, Johnny. Chat can play along too.
Character that's not Michael or Laurie?
Yes.
I don't know. Anthony Michael Hall?
Same. I mean, he's a great actor. I love Tommy Doyle. He looks like Tommy Doyle. And knowing what he does in this movie, I'm pretty stoked to see that character. So I'm with you. I'm Anthony Michael Hall. How about you, Tommy?
I mean, ditto, right? Like his role has been in the marketing from the very beginning. I'm pretty sure very beginning, right?
Pretty much.
After the very beginning. I mean, the rumors, it was like a bad kept secret. He wasn't in that original teaser, but he ended up coming in, I think, the very next thing. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be nice to finally see it on screen.
The day is almost here. Halloween Kills. If you haven't seen it already, most of the public will have a shot to see it over the next couple of days. You made it. Congratulations. I remember doing a stream on this channel in July of 2020 with like 112 people were on it at the time. And they were just gutted that the movie was delayed. They were happy we finally got to see something from the movie, although it was very little. They were gutted that the movie had been delayed. Here we are, 15 months later. That much time has passed. It went by that quickly. Enjoy it. You know, you don't have to love the movie, but enjoy the experience of going to see it in the cinema or sitting beside your significant other at home and watching it on the Peacock. Just enjoy it. Enjoy it. We only live once, so I hear, and enjoy seeing a new Halloween movie because there's going to come a time very soon where you're probably going to have to wait a little while to see another Halloween movie, and we're not talking 15 months. We're talking, 5, 6, 7 years. So enjoy it while it's here. Johnny, where can everybody find you at, man?
Oh, you can find me here, there, and everywhere, but more imminently, of course, this channel is where I'm going to be most of the time, but new episode of The Inside Handoff will be up tonight. We didn't get to record it last night, but we are recording it this evening, so new episode of that will be up tonight, sometime in the overnight hours, so check for that tomorrow morning.
I feel like I heard this last night.
Yeah, you did, but this time it's real. And after that, after we're done the festivities,
But it's not actually real yet. It could theoretically happen again.
I will shove that microphone you're holding up your ass. This one's mine. That one's yours.
I think you should shove it up someone else's ass. It's not my fault it didn't happen.
Well, but you're putting it out there in the universe. It's going to happen again.
Maybe it will. I don't know. And neither do you.
And if it happens again because you suggested it, then I will stick that microphone up your ass.
Tommy B, where can everybody find you at? I mean, I suppose right now in Canada, right?
You just stole from me for the next few days. Hopefully not as a one-time only. You can find me here, prominently featured in the land of the Maple Leaf on the Fandom Empire YouTube channel. And then afterwards, you can find me, of course.
I think
on
the villagers
social
are coming for Tommy.
They finally heard you.
They heard the hockey hate.
Twitter and Instagram at TommyB1650. And, of course, on Facebook. Check out Halloween Fandom, all that good stuff.
You can check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/Fandom Empire. Facebook's the Fandom Empire Den, Halloween Fandom, Halloween Newsnet, and Fandom Empire. Twitter and Instagram's Fandom Empire now. We appreciate each and every one of you, regardless if you've supported us financially or just supported us by spreading the word or clicking the like button, hitting subscribe, also clicking that notification bell. It helps. Without you, there is no us. I really just want everybody to enjoy the experience. There hasn't been too much enjoyable things over the last year and more almost 2 years. Let's just enjoy it, and wherever the cards fall, we'll talk about that tomorrow night. If it's a shit show, we'll bash the hell out of it then. So, but in the meantime, be safe, take it easy, and the boogeyman's not coming. He's here.